Hi friends, most of you know how to thread a signature and put it in your book, but I'm going to show it on camera. I've been doing that lately. Just for anybody who hasn't done it and feels intimidated by it, I just want to say it's not that hard. Really, actually, it's quite easy. And I want to encourage you to not be intimidated by the process. This is an awl. This is waxed thread. I bought a multi-pack. I have many colors. This is one of my signatures. I have 5 signatures I'm going to sew in. It's 8 inches tall, so I have marked. Let's see if I can marked it here, and I also marked it here. This is my book cover that I have created using thick, like cardboard, and this is gold duct tape. I cut a 3-inch spine, taped it, so I have the sides now and the spine together. So you can see where this opens, you know. And then when you do 3 inches, I have this mat, so when you do 3 inches, there's an even number of lines, a half inch I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I drew this to make it easy. So I have 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I drew them all the way down, nice and straight. I went 1 inch in, which is exactly where I'm going to poke through on my actual signature. And then I marked it nice and dark. So that's basically how I'm going to do it, and that is how it will turn out even. Now people do this different. Everybody, it seems like, has their own way of doing this. And I think that's fine. Some people put their cardboard before they start pushing through on like a phone book so that they don't, you know, stab their fingers or anything. But I know that how I'm holding it, it's going to go between my fingers anyway. So I'll do that one more time, make my camera focus on it. So I've got my dark spot here, my fingers are here, and I'm just poking through. So it's not really rocket science. So anyway, that's why I choose not to, you know, put it down in a book or anything like that. I'm just doing it. It makes it, for me, it's just faster, and it's not complicated, and I know I'm not going to stab myself. Alright, so I got all 10 holes in. Right? Yes, I got all 10 holes in. I marked this one by accident, but that's the crease, so I don't need to do that one. So I got all 10 in there. Now I'm going to do my signature. I did not take all my ephemera out. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I didn't today because I have them very specifically placed in such a way that they are perfect on the pages that I put them in. So I'm afraid that if I take them out, I will forget exactly where they were, and I just didn't want to do that. So alright, so now I'm doing the second one. I want my camera to focus for you. So there's my dark spot. I'm going to start working it through. Should be coming through any time now. There it goes. Okay. I forgot that I wanted the inside of my book to be covered. So I went ahead and covered it with a very sheer fabric. This is still the gold masking tape underneath. I'm fine that it shows through. I have no problem with that. And here it is that I actually decoupaged this on. And then you can see for the other side, this is all going to be covered with a beautiful white cotton material. I just duct taped the pink on. So what you see, this white, is the duct tape. So obviously I've got to go back in and put my little holes in, which is not a problem because basically I can see through the pink fabric, and you know, it's already poked through the tape. So this is the super easy part here. But I did want to talk about it because, you know, before we sew our signatures in, if we want the inside cover to be done before that, then, you know, and I do in this case. And I might end up even covering it with something else. I don't really know yet. I haven't made that decision. but at least if I choose not to, at least it has this nice pretty pink on it. So the holes are in and I'm ready to sew in my signatures. So we need 3 times the height of the book. I have this wonderful large needle. Thread very easily fits in there. So when we start sewing, we do the signature first, going from the inside of the signature, obviously out through the back, leaving some thread inside the book so you can tie it later. Now I'm going to poke it through my first hole in the book spine. Hopefully you can see me do that. I'm going to pull the rope or the thread tight. Now I'm going to do the same thing through the back. I'm going to go through the book first. I'm not going to worry about poking it into the pages quite yet. I want to pull this through. And now I can lean this away and I can find the hole. And now pull it tighter. And then we're going to do that one more time. Going to go through the book pages. We'll tighten it up when we're done, so don't worry that, you know, there's movement in here. Oops, it doesn't matter. It's a little bit loose in the back, so I just pulled it to be a little bit tighter. You can always do that kind of when you're done, but I just didn't want it to get away from me too much. Okay, so I've taken my needle out. Whoops. I'm going to turn it sideways. Now I'm just going to pull on it gently, but just making sure it's tight in there. Make sure there's no slack on the back. The back looks fine. Now I'm going to close this page and make sure that looks good. It does look pretty good. Pull it a little tighter right there. Alright, so now that feels tight. I'm going to go ahead and tie that off. And as you can see, one signature is now in the book. So now I'm going to do the rest. Okay, our second signature is in. It's tied here, and you can see it coming through the back. The first one's green, the second one is white. Alright, so we have got these signatures in. You can see them all here. 3-inch spine. The book is not covered yet, as you can see. Here's the inside of it. Okay, so it is now time to cover this. I am going to set it down here for a minute. I have chosen this beautiful white fabric. This actually used to be a pillowcase. It's small, as you could see. So it was like a little miniature, I guess, decorative pillowcase. I found a set of 4 at the thrift store, and I'm thrilled with them. I'm going to move in close so maybe you can see the pattern. So anyway, the person I'm making this book for, I think will absolutely, she likes kind of things that look old-fashioned, so I think she's absolutely going to love that this is, you know, 100% cotton pillowcase. It looks old, you know, it kind of looks like a hanky or something like that, or even a quilt. So anyway, I think she's going to love it. So just kind of messing around with it. Actually, let me pull the camera out just a hair so you can see what I'm doing. So just what I'm trying to do is going to see if it's going to fit, since I have this massive spine on this book, but it does. So yeah, it sure does fit. So there's some hanging over all of the edges, which is really what I want. So we know it's going to work. Now it is a matter of attaching it. So, oh, and real quick before I get started, I wanted to show you, you know, I did all 5 signatures. I did 2 green, 1 white, 1 black, and 1 kind of like this It's like a tealy blue, and I did it to match whatever the page looked like inside. So you can see that when I do the flip through. So now I'm just going to get started on trying to cover this thing. The first thing I'm going to do on the inside cover is add a piece, both in the front and the back, of this really pretty gold vintage ribbon that I have. And I'm doing it where the duct tape look kind of seeps through, if you will, through the pink fabric. The pink fabric is very thin, and I could leave it the way it is, but I just feel like it'll look nicer with this ribbon over top of it. So I cut it to size, as you can see, and I'm going to use Fabri-Tac to adhere it. Now it's time for me to begin adhering the cover. I'm going to try to keep this process as simple as possible. So number one, you might see clothespins holding the pages of my book up and away so that I can work freely. And now I'm going to add some Fabri-Tac to this edge, and I'm going to simply fold the edge over the book cover. Now I will continue on to the top and the bottom of the book cover. I will begin by snipping the material on each side of the spine. Now I'm going to snip the corners so that there is not extra material there. I will now begin gluing down the remainder of the material. I want to thank you for being here, and if you're new, I really want to tell you that I appreciate you checking out my channel, and if you are a returning friend, I want to thank you for your continued support. My numbers are growing and it makes me so happy, and so I'd like to keep on climbing, and I have to thank you all for the success that I have had so far. The only pieces that are left now are the pieces right above and below the spine. So I've trimmed it off so that there's just a little bit, and then I'm going to very, very carefully glue those down without touching the signatures. You can see me getting in there and cutting a little more material off, but there's still enough to fold over the edge and glue it down. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please smash that like button, and also please subscribe to my page. Also, you can follow me on Instagram if you'd like. Thanks for watching. See you soon.